PAX Prime! Yeah! So this is the indie video. This is what we're doing for it. Because, if you look over here, yeah, there it is. We're working on the Rising Thunder. Oh, it's done! Okay, well, I'll play that afterwards. But, yeah, so I use video get to, get all my footage for, I just kind of you just pull a YouTube link and then you plug it into the video get and tell it what format you want, and then it's like, oh, okay, sure, I'll have that for you waiting in this folder, see you later. But when it came to like literally every single indie game that I wanted to do for this video, it was just like, no, I don't feel like it. I'm just gonna give you an error code instead. So I guess we're doing this instead. It's real professional, but it's kind of an indie thing, right? This is my badge, my badges. Have the Video Games Awesome crew sign it up, and Becky loves me, and then so does D-Kun, and I think that's Ben. I'm pretty sure that's Ben. Fraser's thinking me. Kyle got his own. He's here somewhere, I hope. I think it's Saturday. Yeah, there he is. But you're not here for this. You're not here for the endorsement. You're here for the games, right? Well, we'll start off with this one right here. This was Mushroom 11. Really interesting platformer where you play the eraser from the paint application that you used in high school to waste time when the teacher wasn't looking. You basically use the eraser to erase mush. There's this like ball of fungus. It looks kind of like this. They gave me this organic fungal cleanser, which really, I mean, it's just hand sanitizer. It's just like this green snot-looking hand sanitizer. That's always what hand sanitizer looked like to me. It's just like the tube of snot. But I mean, in the game, there's like a big glob of this stuff, and there's always a certain amount. Oh, that's real good. Hey, you know what's professional when you're shooting a video is leaving your goddamn phone. Who's texting me? Oh, okay. Well, anyway, there's always a certain amount of this goo. Like, no matter how much you erase, when you erase a certain amount of it, it just goes somewhere else. It just kind of regenerates in the opposite direction. It's kind of hard to explain, but basically you use that mechanic to erase it. Like, you erase the right half and it grows on the left half, and that's how it kind of moves across the screen. And you have to do that to solve puzzles and traverse across the... I don't know if there's really a story. I think it's just like a, hey, solve this puzzle thing. Really interesting idea, really kind of a nifty... It forces you to think in different ways. It's really good. Check it out. They were timing people, and they would give stuff away if you had like the best time. This one was really interesting. Lourdes of New York from, I think it's Lunchtime Studios? Yeah, Lunchtime Studios. Really passionate people. They gave me this as their memorabilia. This is for a poker RPG game. Which, right? Like, that's kind of a weird idea in and of itself. But, yeah, basically... Today, Junior? Basically play as like a crime lord starting from like the bottom, I think, and just kind of working your way up through the system using, poker. The game they had you play was like a poker game in jail. It's a husband and wife team. They actually work together to work on the game. They have some friends doing the voices, and the husband does all the animating himself because they couldn't afford to actually like hire a real-time animator, and he actually does a pretty decent job. Some of the mouth movements aren't exactly accurate, and I kind of wish that for the demo they had recorded a few more voices than what they had. It kind of gets old listening to the same voice over and over, but I realize it's a demo too. Like, they admitted they still have some work to do, but really passionate guys. I would encourage you to at least check out the demo if the idea of an RPG poker mix-up interests you. You got like these special poker abilities, kind of like the poker game that you play with Ash from Evil Dead and whatever that game is. Anyway, yeah, Distance, which was like this weird, like, not exactly, what was that PlayStation 2 rhythm game where you just like, I don't know, this one was weird. Then you've got Fate of... What the fuck is this? What? I didn't even play this. You know what? I just grabbed a couple of things. When you're at PAX, you just kind of grab stuff and you put it in your bag, right? It's free. No one's gonna hassle you if you take things, you know, especially since it's gonna promote their stuff. Like Kitty Disastrous. I don't know what Kitty Disastrous is, but I know there's kitties, and the line was super long, and I didn't want to sit around and wait for it. Here, if you like kitties, game about love, adventure, calamity, and being a cat. Coming soon to consoles. Look, they got a thing right there. You can go look at it if you want. This was one of the most like easily accessible things I played in the entire indie area, or even just PAX in general. Basically, okay, this is exactly how the game looks, right? This is what you're looking at. It's a multiplayer game for 4 people, so you got 4 of these. You got 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can just pick up and play, and it's basically a race to see who can clear this top section up here, right? You shoot and you eliminate the blocks on here, but the catch is that you have to eliminate them in groups of 3 according to the color. So see how he's about to shoot the green. That means that the next 2 he shoots have to be green, which, I mean, you can see the 2 right there, right next to him. But I mean, from there, what does he do? You would shoot this yellow one, that yellow one, and then that yellow one right there. And then this red, you have to go in groups of 3, otherwise it resets you and you have to start all over again. So it's a race to see who can clear their board first. Really addicting, really fun stuff. They're gonna have download codes available on Steam. I think it's like $15. They were doing on sale for 10 while I was at PAX, and it turns out I had like negative money because PAX is expensive. But otherwise, I totally would have gotten it, and I can already tell that I will be getting it when it comes out. So that's a super fun one. There's Mushroom 11 again. They've got a camera will focus here. They've got a website. They've got a Twitter account, and they're the kind of developers that like talk right back to you if you were to tweet at them. This one got a lot of people's attention. Actually, you might have already seen some stuff for it on YouTube before PAX even happened. It's called Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes. It's a VR game, and you're defusing a bomb with using Morpheus and what's it called, the Oculus. And so there's videos online of like popular YouTubers and people like that trying to defuse bombs in time in VR. Really interesting stuff. The thing is that I'm not sure how long of a game you could make that into. I only watched for a few minutes, and those few minutes were interesting. I'd probably be more invested if I was actually the one playing it, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know how long a game you could possibly make out of that. Like, would you really want to play like 4 hours of just defusing back-to-back bombs before? I mean, how long would it be before it just starts to feel like work? You know what I mean? What is this? This is Mini Metro. This was a tablet game. What the fuck was that? Something moved. Okay. Things move in this house. Happens a lot around here. Anyway, so Mini Metro was a tablet game. I remember it looking... I didn't actually play it, but I was looking over someone's shoulder, and then they looked at me like I was gonna eat their child or something. But I remember it looking a lot like that game where on tablet where you're plotting airplane flights and you're trying to keep them from crashing into each other. I remember looking very, very similar, but with the time Mini Metro, I'm assuming with trains. So I guess if that's what you're into. Then we got Planet of the... What the fuck is this? See, I just grab stuff. When I see that there's free things available and things are being handed out, I kind of just, especially if the line is too long, or if the person is talking to someone else already, I don't want to sit there and wait forever, so I just kind of grab it and I promote it later. So hey, Planet of the Eyes, that's a game. That's a game. Oop, too much. And then we got, what is this? To Leave. Oh, this is another one that was like, oh, that's super interesting. I don't know how long of a game you could make out of that before it starts to get kind of weary. Whoops, I guess there's nothing on the back. But it's like it's a side-scrolling platformer, but your character, I assume this girl, or boy, girl, I don't know. Your character is attached to that door, and you're moving the door around. Very, Nemo style. I'm not gonna lie, I think this is Smash Brothers. And I'm not sure. Yeah, it is Smash Brothers. This is I got this from Fangamer. They give you tokens to buy things with, if you buy stuff with them. Wow, that's not an indie game at all. But you can see my camera and the reflection. Oh, and hey, I was wondering where this went. This is Lourdes in New York again. That's their site, that's their Twitter. This is the main character that you play as right here. Very man with no name, kind of scruff to him, but with a American gangster sort of attire to him. It's, you know, it's set in the, I don't think I mentioned that before, that it's set in like the 1930s, late 1930s. But I mean, I guess you couldn't really get that from this, my bad. But yeah, so not only is it a poker RPG, but it's set in like the gangsta times. You know, when you're talking smack, you know, you gotta put people down, you know, make sure they know the place. Tony was another character, but I don't remember if he was in the demo I played. But yeah, that's Lourdes in New York. I'll be looking into it, and you should too. I had Death Road to Canada, which is pretty much exactly what it looks like. These are real-time graphics. You play these dudes here, and you fight off zombies in a fun little, like, side-scrolling. You control the car sometimes you're on foot with vehicle or weapons. Yeah, it's a road trip simulator, or it sells itself on being a road trip simulator. Comes out early next year. The trailer for it's really funny. There wasn't a long line for this, but they didn't seem to have like a cap or a time limit. So even though there's only like 1 or 2 people, they like let those 1 or 2 people play as long as they wanted, which meant that waiting was kind of a bust. Same with Dad by the Sword. It's actually the same guys. They had the games back to back there. The trailer for Dad by the Sword might hurt your sides. Like, full disclaimer, it's really funny. But I don't know if the actual game itself will stand up. It's coming out early next year as well. Very humor-based, yeah, first-person sword fighting, battling anti-dads. So yeah, it's one of those kind of humor games, but not in a bad way. But I mean, you might already kind of know where it's going. Anyway, if either of those just pique your interest, you can look into those. Oh god, yeah, I guess I did play this, didn't I? This isn't really an indie game. I actually mentioned this in my Microsoft/Nintendo video. I kind of just grabbed this because I felt like if I didn't grab this, I would totally forget that I played it at all. And honestly, I kind of wish that I did. It's not great. Wish list is on Steam. I wish you weren't on Steam. Get out of here. Well, that's cute. I don't know what it's to. Ooh, okay, this is super sick. Some of you actually, it seems like a lot of people already knew what this game was before they even played it. I had never heard of it before. This is Hyperlight Drifter. Very super stylized, super sick looking visuals. The music's very appropriate. Here's a website and Twitter for it. Or is it a Twitter? No, it's just websites. Website and email. It's kind of a top-down, fast-paced sort of, I wouldn't say like Strider kind of gameplay, but Strider-like controls. And you play this person. I thought it was a girl, but I think it's a girl because those look like high heels. But anyway, either way, you play this character. You got a gun and a sword, but your sword's gonna be your primary thing, and you dash. It's hard to explain, but yeah, it gained a lot of clout. I'd never heard of it before, but I went and I got, move this around here. Shit out of the way. Went and got this print for it. Those are the enemies you fight in this game. There's you with your sword and you're ready to go, and then on that day, humanity received a grim reminder. I don't know why I'm doing that voice. Almost done. We're wrapping things up here. I've got this here, Lady Killer in a Bind. Very inappropriate, very adult dating simulator. This is, if anyone watches Dodger's channel, this is right, I think is kind of right up her alley. It might be a little too like on the nose, but the demo they had, the demo that they had was 18 and up. They were very explicit about the fact that like, don't just let kids in here. Yeah, you got 7 days. You're trapped on a cruise ship with your brothers, classmates, and enemies. There's just a lot of melodrama, and oh man, look at those boys. Man, look how hot they are. It's basically an erotic visual novel. And look, then you got girls tying up other girls. I mean, what else do you want? What else do you want out of this? Look at that. They had to like censor their own ad. They couldn't resist. They had to censor their own. So you know what you're getting into. I thought it was funny. I'm probably gonna look into it later. Not because I get off on that kind of thing, but I think it's funny. Oh, look at you. I didn't see you there. Where are you going? Ooh. Get your fib. Oh god, it's breaking the camera. The booty's breaking my camera. And then we got, I think this is the last one, is Y2K. See how they did that? That's clever. Y2K. Postmodern RPG. If you like turn-based type combat, this is right up your alley. It's very much, it looks like Scott Pilgrim, but it plays more like... I don't have any like screenshots of the battle scenes here, but I mean it's laid out like a typical like Final Fantasy X or something like that, old school turn-based RPGs. But you throw like records and things like that, more modern things, as opposed to like ancient weapons and things like that. Winner of this year, that got me really excited because what I played of it was really cool. But we'll see. PS4, Wii U, PC, Mac, PS Vita, if you have a Vita. There's a website there. And actually, as I was looking, I got a little confused. I was looking at these pictures, and then I looked at these pictures, and I was like, what happens to where do you go in this game that it suddenly looks like this? This looks like a totally different game. And then as it turns out, it is a completely different game. They actually, waifu bartending, that's clever. They actually put like 4 different games on their same flyer, which is clever, especially, so you don't end up with situations like this where you just have a completely blank background with nothing else to fill it with. It's clever. Yeah, this one was like a boozem up RPG, not RPG, but okay, so there wasn't a whole lot of necessarily like swag necessarily, like just like things they were handing out. I mean, there's a couple. There was a Final Fantasy like head thing that they were handing out that you could wear for Final Fantasy 15, and then there was this stupid. I don't even know what I'm looking at with this thing, but I'm not even like exaggerating. I like to exaggerate sometimes for humor because that you can get good jokes out of that, creative analogies. But I'm not even exaggerating when I say that the 2 guys that were handing these out were like they were holding it out to me and this other girl and just being like, please take this, would you please take this? And as I cautiously reached out to be like, yeah, sure, like the guy was like, yes, okay, there we go. Like they were desperate to get rid of these. And that's not too uncommon on the last day of PAX, but this was day 1. They were trying to get rid of these like within day 1. What is even like, I don't even know what I'm looking at. I'm sure it's something that you guys in the comments will correct me on and like, oh, how dare you? I don't fucking care. I don't know what this is. It looks like fucking Kupo or whatever from Final Fantasy. I ain't into it, and there was a lot of them raining around the garbage area, so yeah, those were the indies at PAX. Tons of fun, lots of good stuff. I honestly spent a whole day just doing indies. There was so much stuff, and that was just one floor. There was the indie mega booth that we're all familiar with, and then the entire like 6th floor was indies. So yeah, you basically have to plan an entire day around just the indies these days, which is good. But if any of those struck your interest, okay, I'm just gonna stop before like a fucking police chase happens outside my door. Oh, I gotta play Raising Thunder. Okay, see you guys later. Bye.
Let's get this over with.